Hey, Dusty.
Hi.
How's it going? Hey, guys, on today's Travel with Rick, my friend Dusty, he's an Adventure by Disney guide. We're going to be talking about Adventures by Disney from here at the Italy Pavilion in Epcot. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Travel with Rick. We're here talking about Adventures by Disney with Dusty.
That's right.
And Adventure by Disney guide.
Welcome to Italy. Benvenuto.
Dude, I think you got the best job in the whole world. No, well, I thought I did until I met you.
Well, I mean, someone has to do it, so I will.
Look where we are. This is where we're working today, Dusty.
Exactly.
Right here in Italy, in Epcot.
The mouse has blessed me, let me tell you. He really has over the years.
So, I guess we'll just jump right into it. Mm-hmm. How did you become an Adventure by Disney guide? I know you worked for Disney, right?
I did.
So what made you want to jump on this?
Well, I've been with Disney for 18 years. Okay. I actually used to be a dancer. I know. And I don't look it now, but now my job is to eat my way around the world. So this is what happens, okay?
Changes happen.
Changes happen. Right. So I retired from dancing. I thought, what is the next step at Disney? And this little company came about, and there was a little new product that Disney was going to do, and it was Disney and travel combined into one. My two loves in life.
Right.
How can I get into this? So I looked into it, and after 2 years and 14 interviews, I got into Adventures by Disney and started guiding 9 years ago.
All right. So Adventures by Disney, for those of you who may not know, we've taken you on several on Travel with Rick, but if you're not familiar with Adventures by Disney, they are guided, we're going to get away from that word, but they are guided family vacations to unique destinations all over the world. So how many destinations currently in the portfolio?
Oh, we have over 30 destinations now.
Started kind of small with two. And it's grown over the years, every year just adding more, refining some.
On every continent except Antarctica. I mean, as of yet. You never know where we're going next. Right. You never know.
Right. So we've been on several. You know I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite?
Oh, I know.
It's like naming your favorite child.
Right? Exactly.
Right. Well, let's talk about a couple of your favorites.
A couple of my favorites.
About some of those.
South Africa is amazing. Okay. There's nothing like, it's like being in The Lion King,
Right.
Getting up and watching the sunrise over the savannah, and all of a sudden there's an elephant walking right past you. I mean, within feet. It's amazing. But not just the safaris there. The culture in South Africa is unbelievable. There are 11 official languages in South Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so diverse and so amazing. The food in South Africa, shockingly, is unbelievable.
Tell me more.
Our number one food in the whole world is South Africa.
So why is that? What is it about the food in South Africa?
There's so many different influences in South Africa about food. There's the Malay influence, you have the Indian influence. They're coming from all parts of the world.
Okay.
And it combines, I think, to be a perfect balance, And plus, just like our menus, not just in South Africa, but all over the world, we take care of food allergies for all of our guests. It's just like being at Disney World or on the cruise line. Yep. We're going to take care of your food allergies. We're also going to make sure that we have junior adventure options at every single meal. So, if our kids or if our adults want a junior adventure option, they can have the chicken fingers too. It's okay. Anyone can have anything.
Or the mac and cheese.
Or the mac and cheese.
I mean, sometimes in the world, you just had a bit too much lasagna.
Exactly.
You just need a hamburger.
Exactly. But if you want to eat zebra, we have that on the menu too. Wow. It's a balance of everything. So it's wonderful.
Right. Or bison in Wyoming.
In Wyoming, snake wine in China.
Let's talk about, because you mentioned Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. And the food there. I know being a fan of some of the travel shows that are out there and watching some shows on Vietnam, they say the culinary
a little exotic
scene is really exploding there.
It is.
There's wonderful cuisine coming out of that
International chefs are flying to Vietnam to open these amazing restaurants. It's unbelievable. The beauty is, with the Vietnamese cuisine, it's so diverse and it's so fresh.
Okay.
Everywhere we go, the food that you get in Vietnam and in Laos and Cambodia is fresh. It is picked that day. It is in the market. Actually, one of our activities is we go to the market and buy the food to do our cooking class with.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So I'm on tour. I'm in Vietnam with Adventures by Disney. I sit down at a restaurant. I can trust the food that I order because I trust the brand that I'm with and the service of Disney, and knowing the locations they pick. I can feel confident that I can try the food.
100%. the beauty is every restaurant that we use, every place that we go with Adventures by Disney has to meet Disney food safety standards.
Right.
That's above U.S. food safety standards. And they're always being inspected. It's always being taken care of. You're going to be safe. You're going to have fun. You're going to enjoy it. When I go and I design a food menu somewhere and I'm picking out what we're going to have on the menu, I think of my mother. Because she's the world's pickiest eater. And if my mom will eat at this place, then everyone's going to eat there. And,
awesome.
you know, there's just the beauty of having that choice, that option. And if we're somewhere and you don't like what we're having, that's the beauty of being with Disney. I'm going to get you what you want, what you like. Whatever it takes to make you happy, we're going to do.
Very cool. And some of the locations, some of the hotel accommodations that you guys stay in, some of the finest in the world. I can recall interviewing Josh Tomorrow, former executive of Adventures by Disney.
We love him.
We were talking about how they pick the hotels, and he framed it up in a way I thought was so unique. He said, I never want a guest to be sitting at their hotel and look across the street and say, wow, I wish we were staying at that hotel. So I think that's an amazing way of kind of framing this up, that really we stay in the best hotels in the cities that we're in.
By far, the best of the best. And it's not just picking a brand and sticking with a brand. Your hotel stay is part of the adventure. It is part of your story.
Sure.
So it's part of the experience, and we want that hotel to be an experience. So a lot of times we actually choose the hotels for the feeling, the story that they give. They're all going to be luxury. They're all going to be 4 and 5 star, of course.
Right.
But we're going to pick the hotel that has the most beautiful pool that you can relax in after touring all day long, and you've had an exhausting day, and you just want to have fun with the family.
Right.
And you get to go to the pool. Or, you know, I mean, we stay at, oh my goodness, in Hong Kong, the Peninsula Hotel Hong Kong.
Really?
Spectacular views of the Hong Kong skyline.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. In South Africa, when we go on safari, we're at Kapama River Lodge. We don't just stay in the regular rooms either. Oh no, we have the spa suites.
Nice.
So your whole back wall is glass, and you're looking out on the savannah. The funny thing is, we actually have to remind guests, we are not at Animal Kingdom. We are in Africa.
Right.
So if there is a rhino right there, there is a rhino right there.
Right,
There's nothing between you. So it's a lot of fun.
That is awesome, you know, and for my wife and for our travels and adventures by Disney, may not be one of the nicest world-classest hotels. I don't know if that's a word, world-class hotels. But Brooks Lake Lodge in Wyoming, we talked about this earlier.
Right.
She has fallen in love with this place to the point that we have been going back on our own for 5 years to visit out there in the winter time.
Spectacular.
You know, we went out in the summer, did some of the summer activities. My wife made friends with some of the guides and the wranglers out there, and even the general manager, Adam, and was asking about what the winters are like. And Skinner, okay, so Skinner is their head wrangler out there and snowmobile guide, but he said, well, Rick, in the winters, it can be 20 below. I'm from Florida, my wife too. I was not interested at all. My wife immediately jumped on it and made a reservation, and
I'm jealous. I want to go.
I looked at Skinner and said, I hope it's not 20 below next year, you know.
Right.
But, you know, we've gone out there, we've suited up for it, and there is nothing in the world like that.
Oh, no, you make me want to go and do it.
It's truly of all the places we visit, it has become truly my wife's happy place in the world.
That's
it's
awesome.
the one place that we book back every year now. We go to different places every year. That one we book every year to go back there.
Right.
It is so beautiful out there when you have 500 inches of snow. The second year we went, 500 inches of snow during the year. It snowed
500 inches.
It snowed 72 inches in 5 days that we were there. It snowed every day. Solid. The second year we went, that was amazing.
Wow.
Some of the best. The guides were absolutely in heaven. They were loving the snowmobile because it was so deep. You know.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. But
That's deep
I don't want to digress too much on that trip because there are so many trips around the world. You know, we talked about South Africa maybe being your favorite. I know you have a warm place in your heart for Italy. We chose Italy as the place to do our
I started in Italy. I mean, Italy is my home. I've guided in Italy pretty much every single year for the past 9 years. So I started in Italy, and I've been doing our Italian adventures, but also our adventures on board the Disney Magic that go into Italy for the past 9 years, honestly.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And
it's very diverse. There's so many different itineraries that we do there.
Let's talk about that, because even, you know, the few times that I've been to Italy, I still don't think I have all those quite figured out. So I know that we have Viva Italia, which is the one we just came back on.
Yes.
Most familiar with that. But then I'm familiar with, as we talked about, the Amalfi Coast. I love that area.
Yeah.
But what else can we get out of Italy with Adventures by Disney?
The beauty is, people think of Italy and they think, oh, Italy. pizza,
Right.
pasta. That's immediately go to the food, the wine, the vino.
Right.
But the amazing thing is, Italy was actually unified after the United States. Italy is younger than the U.S. Most people don't realize that, but
I was surprised to find that out.
21
just this
regions
summer.
they were kingdoms that were unified together into one Italy. So you have the diversity of all these places to explore within this one little country.
Yeah.
And it's a very small country,
Right.
but so diverse. So we have our, Viva Italia, Rome and Tuscany and Venice, which is spectacular. I mean, Venezia, no place like it on the planet. But we also have Bella Italia, the southern Italy, the Amalfi Coast, Positano. We stay in Sorrento, overlooking the cliffs and the ocean. We go to the island of Capri, where we have a private yacht that we sail around, and we go swimming off in the Med. It's amazing. You actually float a lot more because it's saltier. But then we also have northern Italy. Outside of Milan, we go to Lake Maggiore, Lake Como. Pasta making on the banks of Lake Como is just amazing. And then up into Switzerland from there.
And as you mentioned, I mean, the regions are so different. Even the food.
The food changes.
It's not. I mean, northern Italy, you're going to get different.
Totally different
than you get in southern.
pastas. Even the pasta changes from region to region.
Amazing.
It is
amazing.
It's unbelievable.
So where else in the world? So we've talked about the United States just a little bit. Wyoming is amazing. Montana.
Yes, we have Montana and Banff up in Canada.
Right.
That's one of our cowboys, and you go horseback riding up into the beautiful mountains of Canada.
Southern California.
Backstage Magic. Now, if you're a Disney fan,
Right.
this is the one to do.
You guys right there.
This is I have never had one person say they just were not blown away by Backstage Magic.
Right.
And to be honest, you get not only access at Disneyland, which is amazing, and all the access to fast passes and all these lots of magic that I'm not going to be able to tell you about because it's a surprise. But you start out in Hollywood,
Right.
and you get to go behind the scenes in Hollywood.
Tam O'Shanter.
It's-
Have lunch where Walt had lunch.
Exactly.
I think his name's carved into the table. Or
You go to the
something.
studios, you get behind the scenes at the studios, you get to go to Jim Henson Productions because we own them now.
Imagineering.
Imagineering. You see stuff that you're probably not supposed to see, but we just kind of walk around. It's one of those things. If you're a Disney fan, you got to do it.
Yeah,
I'm actually
yeah.
looking at doing it.
And there is and as Dusty said, there's some things that we're just not going to tell you, but there are some of the coolest things that you could not do on
Let's
your
just
own.
say if you go, you'll get to do something that I still have not done in 18 years, and I'm going to be jealous.
Is it breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you'd want to check this breakfast out. Give me a call. We can hook you up with that very special breakfast that Dusty's been waiting close to 20 years
Yes.
for. All right. So what happened to Mid-Atlantic states? We should bring that one back, I think.
I
like that trip.
The Washington, D.C.,
I like that.
Williamsburg.
Yeah.
It was America's history.
To
it
discover.
is.
I had never been to Washington, D.C. and got to discover D.C.
Lots of really cool
and
things.
walk the mall. That
Right.
was impactful for me. One of those, all right, so travel the world, travel with Rick, visit some very cool places. I can't tell you how impacted I was standing at the Statue of Lincoln. That
Wow.
was, you see it, right? You see it in movies, you see it in pictures. You can't imagine how big it is and how moving it is until you're actually standing there.
And how the local will bring the story of it to life while you're standing in front of it.
Right, because there's actually a head carved on the back of the head, so you gotta go check that out.
Secrets of Lincoln.
Yeah, so anyway, that was a great tour. But it's those kinds of things, that kind of extra that you walk by so many churches in Europe, you just walk by another church in Europe. But, when you go with a local guide, you learn about the cathedral. You find out that
Those
Italy is
hidden
actually
gems.
younger than America.
Yeah.
That you didn't know that, or United States.
Yeah.
Just amazing things, right? You guys stay busy. You guys are working like 24 hours a day.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on
the tour,
vacation.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
They're printing postcards.
I don't
they're
know
doing
what
a lot
you're
of the
talking
special
about. It's a-
touches. I don't know how you guys, how many pictures on an average tour do you
I
guys,
usually take
these guys
around-
are paparazzi.
We are.
All those family pictures that you have that mom is out of them or dad is out of them or
Right.
little Susie is not there because she's the one taking the picture. Here, you're in all your family pictures because of you guys.
Correct. We're actually all PhotoPass trained photographers, every single guy in the world. So we're there with our cameras, ready to take photos for you to be in the photo, but also
Not photoshopped, you
No.
know.
if your camera dies or your batteries die, or you know what, I just don't want to carry my camera. That's why you have us, and you get every single one of those photos at the end of the venture. You get a website to go to download all those photos.
Right.
And I probably take myself on an average of like 1,200 to 1,400 photos a week in 7 days. And that's just one of the guides. So
Right.
my co-guide will be taking the same. So
Right.
you're going to get all those photos to download.
And not to give away too much magic here, but I know the last night is kind of special. How do you choose what pictures go, or whatever we're not going to give away happens that last night?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I kind of wondered about that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so that's one of those mysteries that we can't even pry out on Travel with Rick. But you guys do a great job selecting.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Pretty,
We appreciate
pretty
it.
amazing.
We just like to make the magic for our guests and make sure that it's beyond memorable and that they're never going to forget the time that they have with us.
Memorable. That's what happens on Adventures by Disney. You want to share with us maybe one or two of those unforgettable memories you've had that you
Sure.
can share while guiding? I
Yeah.
told you my standing in front of Lincoln
Yeah.
memory. What's something that's really impacted you with the family or the guests that really has said, wow, that's awesome?
I mean, there's the moments that happen that are written in our story. Like we were talking about in Rome, when you go to the Vatican privately at night.
Yeah.
And you go into the Sistine Chapel, which usually has 1,000 people, and you can't move, you can't talk, silence, no photos, etc., etc. But we go in by ourselves, and you sit on the floor, and you look up at Michelangelo's work. It's a feeling you can't explain because our local expert is allowed to talk in the Sistine Chapel. They're allowed to tell you the story, and you can take all the photos you want. So I have my picture by myself in the Sistine Chapel with Michelangelo's private work. It's unbelievable. Those stories are amazing. But there's also moments that happen all over the world. We have stories everywhere. I was in China, and I had a daughter that brought her mother, who had waited her whole life to see the Great Wall of China. Her entire life. 83 years old. She made it to China. So we're going around at the beginning, and we say, what's your favorite thing? What are you most looking forward to? And she said, China, the Great Wall. I want to see the Great Wall. Now, where we go to the Great Wall, we go to the Montigny section, which is not the touristy section. Bataling is the tourist. We go a little bit further to go to the perfect section of the Great Wall. You can see it from below. There's a steep incline to get to the cable car to ride up to it. So we take it slow because it's pretty steep. And I said, okay, everyone, we're going to go slow. Just follow me. Here we go. We're going to take it slow. We start walking, and we're walking. We get about a fourth of the way up. And I'm looking behind at everyone, and I see Ella was her name. Ella's slowing down a bit. She comes up to me, she says, I'm not going to make it. I can see it. I've made it to the Great Wall. My dream has come true. I've made it. This is my lifelong thing. Bucket list check. And I thought, no. You have come on the other side of the world. You've waited till you were 83 to get here. You're going on that Great Wall. What am I going to do? I looked around, and if you know what a sedan chair is, there was a sedan chair on the side. I hired 2 Chinese men to get a sedan chair. We put Ella on the sedan chair. They put it up on their shoulders, and they carried Ella up to the cable car as all of the guests were chanting, Empress Ella, Empress Ella. She became
So
Empress
cool.
of the day. And we have her picture at 83 years old, standing on the Great Wall of China.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
chills.
So that's why you plan a family vacation with Adventures by Disney, right? That's that Disney difference that we keep talking about in all of these things, that we won't mention any other names of any other tour companies, but any other guide might have been happy to say, okay, Ella, you're right.
We'll be
Just
back.
set this one out. We'll be
Yeah.
back in a few minutes. You guys made sure she got up there. So kudos to you, man. That's
Thank you.
awesome. That's
Thank
a
you.
great story. And that's what happens on Adventures by Disney, right? Awesome. I think anything else you want to share? I was going to say, I think this has been comprehensive, but I know you've got one more thing you've got to get out, right, about Adventures by Disney, that someone's sitting there thinking, that's awesome. I've seen some of the places Rick's gone.
Exactly.
That's cool. But what would you say? Get them off the couch, Dusty. Get them out to see the world, because it's a big world out there.
It is a big world. There's so many places to see around the world, and we're always adding on new places constantly. So believe me, there's no one that's done every one in the world. So you got to come and catch up with us and,
Right.
and get to do all of them. You know, people always say, well, why would we go with Disney? Why are we going to spend that amount of money to come with you? And it's like my mother says. My parents have actually been on 6 of them,
Okay.
and you get what you pay for.
Right.
Every single thing is included. There is no upsells or anything anywhere in the world. There's no kickbacks for us. When I tell you, go to this little store to get your leather purse, it's because that's where I get mine from my mother.
Right.
Because there's no pressure. It's choose your own adventure. You get to do what you want to, when you want to, as much as you want to. We're there for you. There's no other company in the world that has 2 adventure guides. 2 guides, plus your local expert, plus your drivers. The over inundation of service and the Disney quality and safety that you're guaranteed is priceless. No one has the Disney brand behind you around the world except us.
Very cool. Very cool. And that's really what you need to do. You need to look at what maybe some of the other companies don't include, and what are some of the experiences that some of the other companies could not even include if they wanted to.
Because they're not the mouse.
And then add all that up and decide for your special once in a lifetime vacation what you won't remember when you get home what you saved on your trip. You'll remember what you got to see, and I think that's what's very important. Like we like to say around here, Dusty, many people will say when they come to Walt Disney World, well, it really doesn't matter where we stay, we're only going to be sleeping there. And we say it's not really where you go to sleep at night, it's where you wake up in the morning. You wake up in the middle of this, you wake up and you look out over the savannah, you wake up and you look at the Eiffel Tower if you're in Paris, or you look at, that's what you remember, is waking up and that first cup of coffee for me, hanging out with, I still remember sitting on the balcony of our hotel in Paris, overlooking the Eiffel Tower and having a French coffee press and fresh croissants every day with my wife. That's fabulous. So those are the things that you remember, and that's what travel is supposed to do. It should change you, and it should give you memories that you can take for a lifetime, right? Awesome. Dusty, thank you so much for taking time to be here and share your experiences with us. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you right back here for another episode of Travel with Rick real soon. So long, everybody.
When it's time to plan your next vacation, you need the experience of someone who can help you make the best decision for your vacation dollars. With over 18 years of experience, Kingdom Magic Vacations can help you plan your next trip to incredible destinations like Disney, Universal, cruises, and all-inclusive destinations. Our team of travel planners are with you every step of the way. All you have to do is relax and enjoy your vacation. We do all the work. Call 866-972-6244 or visit kingdommagic.com to start planning your vacation today.
Well, hey guys, thanks a lot for watching this week's show. We're here at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Actually, this is Jumbo House. And yeah, it's 2 real giraffes walking out there on the savannah. This happens to be a savannah view, which gives you, you guessed it, a savannah view. And there are live animals right around. This morning, zebras right out there. Wildebeest. Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's a great place to stay. We just want to take a minute and remind you, if you have not done so, up there in the upper right hand corner, drop in your email address. That way you'll be signed up for our feed. You'll be the first to know whenever we put something new here on Travel with Rick. If you really want to find out what's going on, check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/travelwithrick. That's where we put our question of the week, as well as you can interact with other Travel with Rick friends, find out where we're going, where we've been, and what we think about some of the places we visited. Also, if you're on iTunes or YouTube, yeah, of course, we've got channels for you over there as well. Subscribe to them if you wish, and be sure to rate us if you consume those types of media. We'd really appreciate it. Well, listen, you never know where we're going to be next week. We could be right back here in Orlando or halfway around the world. So check us out right back here, find out where we're going next. So long, everybody.